Twab time. This week at Bungie, aka the Twab, the weather is changing. You feel that? A slight chill in the air. It's time to prepare for a colder climate, Guardians. Europa has no sympathy, unprepared guests. Europa has no sympathy, unprepared guests. I feel like there's a punctuation missing there. This could be Europa has no sympathy, comma, unprepared guests, or this could be Europa has no sympathy towards unprepared guests, or for, or to. Europa report 100% chance of snow. Yes. You now have less than 7 weeks to get ready. Don't get caught out in the cold without a plan. Take plan B. Stay safe, kids. Wrap it up. Actually, don't wrap it up. Just actually wrap it up. November 10th is coming quick, and we're eager to see how long you survive. It's a pass for games. Earlier this week, Forsaken and Shadowkeep became available on Xbox Game Pass. Dude, I just saw a commercial on TV. Now, you might ask yourself, Glad, why the fuck, what's with the cable? Why are you watching TV? Because I got YouTube TV for the NFL season, all right? Get off of my back. It's expensive, but it's for the whole season. And then I'm canceling that shit. A few housekeeping notes for Guardians who are being freshly rezzed in the Cosmodrome. You'll need to download Destiny 2, Forsaken, and Shadowkeep to access content. Without Destiny 2, you can't launch the game. For new Guardians joining our ranks through Xbox Game Pass, we have a help article specifically, all right, for you. Our help forms are also available at any time if you hit a snag on your way to the tower. If you encounter any issues accessing game content or Xbox-related services, please refer to Xbox support. I mean, this is relevant. Make sure you guys check this out if you're looking, if you're going to participate in the Xbox Game Pass. Make sure that you check out this information because I assume it's going to be a lot of people, man. When Destiny 2 launched 3 years ago, we had no idea in 2020 we'd announce a new trilogy of expansions, among other 2020 surprises we didn't anticipate. Wait, what else happened in 2020 that we didn't anticipate? I don't know. At the time, we thought Destiny 2's arc would look a lot more like Destiny 1, a couple of expansions, and then a sequel. We learned many lessons from the transition to Destiny 2 and from shipping Curse of Osiris, Warmind Forsaken, and Year 2 seasons. And Shadowkeep. When we evaluated those lessons, we decided not to pursue a Destiny 3, but instead to reinvest everything into Destiny 2 and make it all that it can be. To support that strategy, we've made several tech investments to help us sustainably evolve the game for years to come. And some of those investments are arriving in Beyond Light. Many of these changes are under the hood and won't affect your experience except insofar as they help us deliver you more. What is insofar? I don't use that word. Better Destiny in the future, new engine. But some may result in need improvements, curious behavior differences, or bugs. This means that on November 10th, some places and things will feel a little like sliders. Only 90s kids will get this. Sliders. I mean, when I hear sliders, I think the little burgers, the little mini burgers. I don't know. That's what I think. And I was a 90s kid, so am I don't know. Sliders was a TV show? What the fuck? I didn't know it was a TV show. What? Am I too young for this? We shifted our mission scripting model to run on the physics host instead of the mission host. I think White Castle. More details on this split here in the interview with Matt Segur. In the long run, this change will give designers options to create more novel mission mechanics by giving the mission scripting environment full access to the game state instead of the much more limited access the mission host had. For example, okay, I have no idea what that means. For example, the physics host knows exactly where enemy combatants are and what actions they recently performed, while the mission host only knew how many combatants were alive in a squad and what that squad was generally trying to accomplish. In Beyond Light, we're only launching the foundations of the system, and we look forward to evolving. And This is a little bit over my head. What you might notice, the new scripting environment changed many behaviors in complex ways, and you may see interesting behavior changes or bugs in pre-Beyond Light missions. Bugs, oh god. And public events and similar. Oh my god, you may see, dude. Bungie literally just said you may see bugs in missions. When bro, I feel like we're gonna see some shit because I know old missions, but like there are already so many fucking bugs in this game that they try not to have, and the fact that they're like, you're probably gonna see some fucked up shit it doesn't worry me. It's funny. I'm going into old missions day one, dude. Fuck the power grind. That's hilarious, dude. That is hilarious. Sorry, let me turn the down. I will get all subs after we're done reading here. Let me focus so we're not taking too many breaks. That were originally built and tested on the previous system. We've tested these missions heavily and stamped out many bugs, but some will undoubtedly slip through. We'll be monitoring and fixing remaining bugs over time. In some cases, these issues were more severe. For example, they caused the Prophecy Dungeon to be unavailable temporarily. I know that they've said that before, but this is why. I know that they've said that before. I know. Turn it down. This is why, though? The whole reason that Prophecy had to go away is because of a bug. Dude, how is this not a new engine? Why don't they just come out and say it? All right, Parrot. What's happening? Explain bugs. to my dumb ass that doesn't understand any of this, Mr. Code.
You know the age-old question. If you take a broom and you replace the handle and then you replace the head, is it still the same broom?
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing with this engine. So currently, they kind of give us a little bit of insight where every interaction is currently built on a system that operates basically at the fire team level. That's why they've told us in the past, like with anti-cheat, that there are the physics servers, there are the actual match-based servers that are connected to every match, every mission, and they are listening and they're watching everything, but they don't have control authority on what is going on in the game at the time. That's why you have people basically doing anything that should technically be illegal in the game when it comes to anti-cheat, and people being able to exploit things that occur due to stuff like lag switching, because all of that is being run more or less in sync across everybody in the fire team. So what they're doing is they're giving the servers, they're giving the physics simulation, the thing that tells your client what to render on your screen, they're giving that control authority. So what's happening is they're actually, I put a Twitter thread up on it. It's I said, this opens the door to tons of new mechanics possibilities and likely a much more resilient fireteam experience regarding error codes and launch glitches. This is because it's actually being handled instead of with a instance host. For example, on day one raids when people were getting DDoSed, they had 1 or 2 people in the fire team that were getting DDoSed, and it brought the entire fire team offline because of it. That's due to the peer-to-peer networking nature of the game currently. So what it's doing is it's moving the host off of a player's computer. It's also allowing for more evolving world situations that actually evolve over time, not just once every reset cycle. Think of the physics host as the platform the mission host rests on top of. Giving authority to the physics host will also be central in dynamic world events and weather systems. So right now, when you start up the game and you join a fire team or you join a patrol zone or any sort of publicly match-made space, you are queued up and placed into an existing instance. That instance is constantly running, yes, but that instance is still just an instance. It is not necessarily referencing back to checking with a main server regarding, hey, where should this be? That's why Seraph Towers were kind of weird, because it only updated every, 14, 15 minutes, even though, we were completing it much faster, and so we had to wait for the 15-minute cycle.
All right. So, okay. If you had to explain this in like the most relatable phrasing ever,
they're giving it
like
almost dedicated servers.
Dumb it down even more.
The servers that currently exist in the game that we connect to, like the ones that you say, like when you log in and it says cannot connect to Destiny servers right now because down for maintenance, whatever. Those servers that we can't connect to are now actually being servers that we're running on, not just connecting to. The servers are no longer listeners, they are tellers.
Okay.
The servers don't just function as a reporting system, they function as a control system.
So what sort of things specifically? I know they're listing some stuff in the TWAB, but they're just talking generally about bugs. Like, what sort of things specifically would we expect? Like, how is this going to change the day-to-day Destiny experience?
It won't, not at first, because their whole thing is porting it over. They're porting the existing system onto the new physics-based system. So by doing that, that's why they're preemptively telling us that there will be bugs, because there are certain things that, for example, public events. Public events do operate on a global server level. They are, public events always start at the same time at the same place, but they start in an instance. And so that's something that will be changing, so that you're not necessarily in a separate instance. Because if you start a public event with, say, you're with Sweat and Spop in one instance running a regular public event, and then I'm with Chevy and Error in another instance running the same public event in the same place, such as the Servitor public event on Nessus right by the barge. We can finish that event at separate times, and it will still register as separate events. Yes, we completed the same event type, but they were different events because it's operating at the instance level, and that's because of the mission controller system.
All right, so when we had let's say a group of 6 completed a Seraph Tower event, instead of that counting for one event, it counted one for every team member when we had to do that community event. I don't know if those were Seraph events, whatever the fucking event we had to do.
Imagine the Seraph event with the ball moving across, right? Except the ball isn't moving simply because of people in your instance. I can be in a completely different instance. I can be on the Australian servers, and I can throw a ball, and the ball will move a little bit on both my screen and yours, even if I'm not on the screen. That's the kind of stuff that moving to the physics engine allows for. Because the physics engine is constantly handling everything in the background. And that's part of the stuff that I think that they were testing with the Seraph Tower tracking and the Guardian games, banners, and that kind of stuff. They were testing what all they can do. And with the, when we brought down the Almighty, they were testing what we can do currently in terms of running things on the mission system instead of on the physics system.
So why would they do something like this? What's their benefit to them?
Evolving world, more control, easier to have giant single world immersive experiences, easier control, more mechanics, easier to change content faster, easier to introduce new content, easier to test something, realize it's broken, and fix it instead of having to issue a client-side patch. Do you want me to continue?
What about cheating?
So giving, without knowing exactly how the engine is built, I can't, definitively say how something behaves, but if they are giving full control authority to the physics engine, because they actually list it. If what you currently have highlighted on your screen, if you go up just one paragraph, it says, for example, the physics host knows exactly where enemy combatants are and what actions they recently performed, while the mission host only knew how many combatants were alive in a squad and what the squad was generally trying to accomplish. So what they're doing is they're changing that system that currently relies on my computer and your computer and whoever else to do kind of a almost judging panel thing where every computer in the system kind of says, yeah, that's allowed, sure, whatever.
So clean and comfortable, man. Glad
and they're
kiss,
changing it
kiss,
so that
kiss.
one server is allowed to have control authority over what happens, which means if Bungie wanted to push out an anti-cheat patch, say somebody gets a new hack, they can. It's a it's an instant teleport hack that Bungie hasn't seen before. Bungie can look at it in real time, figure out what it's doing, and then deploy that fix in real time to the servers without the players having to relaunch their games.
Okay.
But that's in conflict with what Bungie has already told us about how anytime somebody is detected, they have to go through the manual review process. But technically speaking, it can prevent that because the server can say, hey, you were just, here, and then a tenth of a second later, you were on the other side of the map. That's not allowed. I'm teleporting you back to where you just were. So that kind of thing is possible. It can say, hey, you just had a full set of ammo on your grenade launcher, and then you used it all, and ammo didn't spawn, so why do you have more ammo? And then it can take their ammo away. Now, stuff like wall hacks and aim hacks are a different story because those are client control things and client rendering things, so that's probably more easily detectable, but I don't know enough about that to give an answer.
I have a lot of research to do, Chan. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person that's like, her, chat. Who else is her right now? Question mark. All right. All right, fair enough, I guess.
I think a lot of the reason for them doing this is because of the evolving world thing and because of the weather system that they're going to be implementing on Europa. They want it to be a, hey,
big brain lol.
This weekend there's a heavy storm is hitting Europa. Drop in with your fire team and help push back this horde mode light event.
Do you think? I wonder if we could see more in-game real-time events.
That's exactly that's what I was saying. It lets them have complete granular control over everything dynamically. It's not something that they have to put up and then go through the approval process and then go through the download process and then go through the testing process and then go through the patching process. They can say, hey, the game has this content already installed. Your game already knows what a darkness or what a pyramid scale looks like. It already knows what a taken champion looks like. I'm just gonna instantly spawn 50 of them in your face at once, no matter where you are. If you're on Europa in the exoscience facility and it's 6 o'clock and we say, hey, there's a new event. We're going to randomly choose where it is. First person to find the PvE bounty target gets a special emblem. They can then manually spawn that somewhere, random, or, intentional if they so desired, instead of having to pre-script it and make sure everybody's on the same game version and make sure everybody has logged in since the last Steam server restart.
Wait a minute. That's if everything, all this will definitely happen. Could Bungie in theory be watching somebody? Like, could they be watching Clyde and then just be like,
yes.
I really like what Clyde's doing right now. He's exploiting, and they could take giant taken phalanxes with infinite health and just be like, hey, Clyde, here's one of the... Could they just drop enemies on Clyde?
They could.
Fuck you, Clyde. I didn't get
could.
shit on, bitch. By some fucking...
Theoretically speaking, yes, they could.
Oh, Glad's duping balls and friggin'... fuck this guy.
Yeah, that's another thing. Ball duping could go away. They could finally fix ball duping with this.
No. Oh my god.
Granted, I don't know the extent of what they're doing, but theoretically, they could.
So TL semicolon DR colon. Bungie's kind of sus. Correct?
Bungie's really sus.
Give or take. All right.
But yeah, it's gonna be everyone's always like, oh, this Beyond Light is the first like truly Bungie it's the first truly Bungie Destiny season and all that stuff, and
I feel like we've been saying that for a
doing.
couple seasons though.
This is the first full year expansion.
All right, true.
But they are opening the floodgates with this one change, because what a lot of people kind of misconstrue about game engines is
I know nothing about them.
Well, that's the thing. At the very core of your engine, you have an event handler, and sometimes that event handler is time-based, sometimes it's external trigger-based. There's a whole bunch of different options. And so by changing the core event handler for the engine after, they already did a bit of a networking overhaul, for all intents and purposes, the Destiny 2 Tiger engine that we will be seeing in November is not the same engine as the one we are currently in, or the one that we saw at the beginning of Destiny 2's launch.
Dude, remember when everyone started calling this out earlier?
Dude, I called this a year ago. And
everyone was literally like, no way, not November, not the fall expansion. We're like, oh.
Well, I mean, these are the same people who said Bungie physically couldn't do a live event.
Sure. All right, is there anything else you want to say to chat other than that they look sexy naked?
They got cute butts, and you guys better get ready, because there are some spicy pieces of content coming in November, and if you're not hyped, you're wrong.
Yep.
So.
All right.
See you, brother.
And with information from our insider Parisito. Yo, by the way, with your permission only, if I do a TWAB analysis and put this on YouTube.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, because there's a lot of people that are just like me and are like, what the fuck is all this, man?
Yeah,
Because I literally read the first paragraph and I was like, completely lost. I have no idea.
Obviously, like I said, I don't work at Bungie. I haven't.
That's fine.
I haven't been able to dig into their code, but having some experience with game engines and
Vauda,
system design,
absolutely.
This is very likely the direction they're moving towards, based on things that I've seen inside the Bungie API and how the game interacts, and also some miscellaneous data mining stuff from other communities.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, we'll put a video up because this will help people. If there's anything, Vauda's gonna put a video up. If there's anything else you want to tell him, reach out to him.
Got it. Sounds good.
All right, yo.
See you, brother.
Peace. Okay, yeah, so Parisito is not just blowing smoke out his ass, chat. I know when a lot of that is said by somebody that doesn't work at Bungie, it's a very normal reaction to say, why should we believe this guy? This sounds like a bunch of bullshit. This is all conspiracy. Some of it is. A lot of it probably is. He doesn't know. He doesn't work at Bungie, but I've been working with Parisito for a very long time on a lot of things in this game, and he knows a lot more and cares a lot more and is very passionate about this type of stuff. So I think, even if a lot of it is just sort of, throwing stones at this point, I think it's interesting conversation topics, and it gets people going, man. It's all about content creation. It's all about leading a charge with some good conversation topics, man. Starting some good, stirring the healthy pot, bro. Even if we're wrong on stuff, at least we're getting people talking, So yeah, I understand things a little bit better, but There's a lot still that I'm like, what the fuck is actually going on? You know what this means? This means that that fucking rock that you can't see right now, that is all shadowed out and dark, you're gonna be able to see that fucking rock. You're gonna be able to see that rock real fucking good.